All right, guys, just did abs. About to do cardio. Um, just did some hanging leg raises, some weighted crunches, some oblique twists on the cable, and then some lower back stuff just to try to help my sciatica and my bulging disc. Little fit check here. Got the Naruto pajamas, Dragon Ball Z long sleeve. I like to dress comfy, especially for cardio. Little ab check. Not bad. My abs aren't great, but we're working on them. So, all right, I'm gonna do 45 minutes cardio. All right, here's meal one. That's pretty sad looking egg whites, but they will do. We have 2 packets of maple brown sugar oatmeal, 50 grams of blueberries, 50 grams of strawberries, 10 grams of honey, and then 400 grams of egg whites, some sriracha and sugar-free ketchup. This meal is about 600 calories, almost 80 grams of carbs, 52 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat. This is my pre-workout meal. I'm going to lift here pretty early. And today is a shoulders and arms day. So it's going to be just carbs for pre and post. No other added carbs after that, or at least very little. So it'll be a lighter day for me. But yeah, I'm excited to eat this. Haven't had oatmeal for a little bit, so excited to have some. All right, guys, so today was a fun day. Today is shoulders and arms. I don't typically train shoulders a lot or really arms much in the off season, but for contest prep, I kind of like adding it in just for some extra volume and to kind of split up some of my bigger muscle group days. So we're starting with dumbbell hammer curls. I did 2 sets. Set before this, I went a little bit heavier and I kind of gassed myself out, so dropped down a bit. Usually shooting for that 12 rep range, but anything over 8 I'm usually happy with. Sometimes I'll push to like 15ish, 20, but yeah, starting with the hammer curls, work the brachioradialis a little bit more, and I kind of just like the overall kind of pump it gets me going. Makes me feel good. Moving on to more of a stretching movement, a one-arm cable curl. I like doing these 2-armed as well, like facing the cable, but I wanted to do one arm. Like I said, I do a lot more unilateral stuff, fine-tuning, and it kind of just feels a little bit better for me sometimes. And I do have some muscle imbalances, so I'm trying to work on those. But you can really get a good stretch here, and a solid contraction. Emphasizing the eccentric portion of the lift, really taking your time through it, will always get you the best gains. If you're lifting like super fast, like a noob, it's not gonna lead to a lot of great gains. It's kind of a bummer, not great lighting here, but for the other side it was solid lighting. And peep the Gyarados shirt, thing's dope. If you don't like Pokemon, then never mind, I can't say it, but you know what I was about to say. So we did 2 sets here, and I'm starting with biceps because they are my weaker part out of the 3. Biceps, delts, and triceps. Biceps are definitely my weaker part, so I'm going to start with them. And we ended it with just some dumbbell curls. A lot of times I start with dumbbell curls and end with hammers, but I kind of wanted to start with hammers. Lately I've been starting with hammers and ending with dumbbell curls, just like a conventional dumbbell curl, not even supinated. But just getting a good pump, a good squeeze, trying to control the eccentric, but I am getting a little sloppy here. I'm kind of fatigued. But yeah, I did 2 sets, so 6 total sets for biceps. That's usually what I do, especially as my food gets lower. I try to keep the strength via weight, but I will decrease the volume some for recovery. Just a couple partials. Next we move on. Oh, I guess I'll hit some little pump check, you know. Next we move on to delts. Delts was a pretty basic day for me. I don't do really any overhead pressing. I do a lot of incline pressing, so I don't really do any overhead pressing anymore. But that may change some in my off season. I might program some in. But we're going to start with dumbbell side laterals. I did 2 sets before this, so we're going to do 3 total sets of dumbbell side laterals. I also do a side lateral variation on my other push day. So this is just kind of some extra volume for the medial delt. You really want to emphasize, taking your time through this lift, pinkies up, like you're pouring water. And after 3 sets, I have a pretty solid pump. So that's kind of what's nice about training delts for me. It's usually pretty quick and to the point. Next, I did rear delts, equally, arguably more important than the medial delt. I usually do them on a cable, but on my extra day, I like to do a little bit of extra free weights. So I will do a seated rear delt fly. This does engage some trap as well, but you can really, if you lighten the load, you can kind of focus it a little bit more on your rear delt. Again, pinkies high, at least for me, feels better. Next, we did some face pulls, kind of for middle traps and delts in general. I kind of like doing them because it's kind of like loading up a back double bicep. I don't really shrug much anymore, so this is face pulls or like bent over shrugs are my typical trap development exercise. Next, we moved on to triceps. They are probably my best body part, or one of my better body parts. So I saved them for last. Just 2 sets here of a tricep rope push down. Also, I want to say for delts, I did do 3 sets of rear delt flies, and then just 2 sets of the face pulls. Yep, and I did 2 sets of rope push downs or rope press downs. Next, I did a dip machine, and after watching this over, I kind of lifted like a dork, way too fast. Really need to slow it down, but it is what it is, I guess. Sometimes you gotta watch yourself or re-watch yourself and take a step back, which is good. And then so I did 2 sets of the dip machine. Then we did an overhead extension for the long head of the tricep. 2 sets here. This is one of my favorite tricep exercise personally. I feel like you can get a really, really good stretch. And that is basically my shoulders and arm day. 6 sets of biceps, 8 sets of shoulders, 6 sets of triceps. And those are working sets too, guys. So like, I will warm up. Like, I'm not just like, oh, I'm only doing 6. Like, I grab 20s and curl. I'm gonna grab 30s and 40s, and okay, there's my 3 sets. Like, I warm up, so it's only working sets that I count. Like, sets that I actually reach like a fatigue at like at least 15 reps, sometimes sooner, or at least 8 reps up to like 15. So yeah, that's kind of how I base my sets and how I count them. I don't really count like warm-up volume. I mean, it has a purpose, but for me personally, I don't like to include it. Did some posing afterwards. Again, not the greatest lighting in the world, but I think we're looking better. I need to work on activating my legs, though, a little bit more. They just don't fire as hard. So that's something I got to really, really focus more on. And they need to get leaner, too. So that's what's nice about posing. You can kind of look back and compare yourself and see where you're at. All All right, guys, we just finished our workout. We hit shoulders and arms. Oh geez, sorry. Solid workout, not too bad. I don't train shoulders overly hard, or a lot, I guess. I kind of just slip them in here and there, but biceps is definitely a necessity, so definitely prioritize those. So post-workout, we are having 5 chocolate rice cakes. That's 60 grams of carbs, and then we have 50 grams of whey isolate. That is our post-workout. You might not see my next meal. My next meal will be 150 grams of 93.7 ground turkey and 85 grams of asparagus. But I might not record that one. So those will be my next 2 meals. All right, guys, last meal of the day. Don't mind my crazy hair. It's been a long day. We have 130 grams asparagus, 2 cans of tuna. Ends up being about 44 grams of protein, 45 grams of protein, and like 10 grams of carbs or something like that. And I also had 16 grams of almond butter, which was about 8 grams of fat. But playing a golf scramble today, so it's kind of a long day. Got a lot of steps in though, which is good. And then I had my ground turkey meal, my whey protein shakes, and then I did have a grilled chicken salad too. I estimated it at about like 100 grams of grilled chicken. Had a little bit of Italian dressing with it. So I had like another 100 calories in dressing. And then obviously like the lettuce and stuff, all that, basically no calories. So that was the day. Tomorrow, I think it'll be an off day. I think my body's gonna need some rest. So it'll be mostly proteins and fats tomorrow. Very low, basically trace carbs just from vegetables and other foods. Excuse me, sorry. So, yeah, tune in tomorrow for a low day. It's not going to be fun, but we'll do cardio and abs, and I think I'm going to pick up a dirt bike. So, yeah. All right, see you tomorrow.